चलिए शुरू करिए। प्रेजेंटेशन
Shall I
मोड में
start?
लाओ। हाँ हाँ, श्योर श्योर, स्टार्ट करो।
Okay. Good evening to one and all, respected teachers and all of my classmates who has joined this meeting. I'm Monali Nishad with my team members Priya Singh, Pragati Jain, Nishant Gupta, Yusuf Khan and Pranjal Tiwari. We are here to give a presentation on the topic Basic Requirements for an Acoustically Good Hall. Before moving towards the definition, I would like to ask that have you ever faced a situation when you were in the hall for school prayers and were cracking jokes with your buddies on the last row? I think most of us have done this because commands which were given was hardly heard by the second and third row. And I'm honestly sharing my own experience. I always heard stanities which was actually stand at ease. Or while attending any lecture or speech, you suddenly hear Sabji le lo from the nearby market. To deal with these type of problems, we have a branch of science named acoustic. So, moving to the definition, acoustic is a science which deals with sound. It is science which deals with the planning, design, and construction of building. It is also provided for correcting the defect in building, unit, and components. Acoustic is a science of sound which deals with origin, propagation, and auditory sensation of sound and also with design and construction of different buildings. Unit to set optimum condition for producing and listening speech. Now, we are going to discuss about some basic requirements for an acoustically good hall. Okay, just imagine you are attending a music concert inside a hall and at the same time aircrafts creating loud noise are passing outside. Then, what do you think? Could you really enjoy the music? No, I don't think so. So, our first requirement is site selection. Before construction, the first important factor to be considered is the location for best acoustical quality of the hall. It should be far from railway tracks, industrial areas, airports, and highways so that the heavy noise of such locations could not affect our event. Through an appropriate orientation, layout, and structural design, the background noise level in the hall should be kept at around 40 to 45 decibels. Now, I would like to invite Nishant to explain next point.
Thank you, Monali. Hi guys, this is Nishant. Now, I will explain you on the topic volume required for acoustically good hall or auditorium. The volume of the auditorium is decided by the type of program to be conducted there and also the number of seats to be accommodated. A musical hall required a large volume, whereas a lecture hall required a smaller volume. In deciding the volume of the hall, its height play an important role than its length and breadth. The ratio between the ceiling height and breadth should in deciding the volume of the hall, the following guideline may be followed. For the cinema theater, it should be 3.74 to 4.2 meter cube per seat, and for lecture hall, 2.8 to 3.7 meter cube per seat. Musical hall, 4.2 to 5.6 meter cube per seat. The size of hall or auditorium should be that it remain optimum. The hall should not too small or too big, as a small hall lead to irregular distribution of sound because of formation of standing waves. And too big halls may also create a weaker intensity and large reverberation time, which is a very serious issue. The sound heard the sound heard must be sufficiently loud in every parts of the hall, and no echo should be present. Therefore, medium hall is good option. Here, the image show that the intensity of sound should be uniform in every parts of the hall. Thank you guys for listening me patiently. Now, I would like to invite Pragati for explaining next topic.
Thank you, Nishant. Hello, everyone. Good evening. This is Pragati Jain here before you to explain about the shape of an acoustical good hall. The shape of a wall play a very important role in determining its acoustical quality. As the reflections are created by roof and the side walls, they should be designed in such a way that echoes are not allowed to generate. In the place of parallel wall, split side walls are preferred. If there are focusing surface on the wall or ceiling or a floor of a hall, they produce concentration of sound into particular region. As a result, there will be the region of silence or a poor audibility. Curved surface on wall, ceiling, or floor produce concentration of sound into particular region and absence of sound in another region. For uniform distribution of sound, there should be no curved surface. If such surface are present, they should be covered with absorbent material. Thank you. So I would like to invite Pranjal for the next topic.
Thank you, Pragati. Hello, people. I'm Pranjal and I'm going to enlighten little information about reverberation. The time taken by sound in a room to fall from its average intensity to inaudibility level is called the reverberation time of the room. If a hall is to be acoustically satisfactory, it is essential that it should have the right reverberation time. The reverberation time should not be either too long or too short. A very short reverberation time makes a room dead. On the other hand, a long reverberation time renders speech unintelligible. The optimum value for reverberation time depends on the purpose for which a hall is designed. A reverberation time of 0.5 seconds is acceptable for speeches and lectures, while a reverberation time of 1 to 2 seconds is satisfactory for concerts. In case of theaters, the optimum value varies with volume. 1.1 to 1.5 seconds is suitable for small theaters, whereas for large theaters, it may go up to 2.3 seconds. Thank you. Now I'm going to invite Priya for the next topic.
Thank you, Pranjal, for this information. Hello, everyone. I, Priya Singh, is here to give you information about the seating arrangement in auditorium. The seat should be arranged in concentric arc of the circle. Flat floor seating or of more than a few rows is descriptive of good visibility and good hearing. Sloped floor seating is essential for a large audience to have good visibility and good acoustics. The successive row of seats have to be raised over the preceding ones, with the result that the floor level rises toward the rear end. The rise level may be about 8 to 12 centimeters per row. Further, the seat in each row should be stacked side in relation to those in front, so that the line of sight of a person in any row is not obstructed by the person sitting in front of him. The back-to-back distance of chair in successive row should be at least the distance of 45 centimeters, and this may be increased up to 106 centimeters for extra comfort. The angle subtended with the horizontal at the frontmost observer by the highest object to be seen on the stage should not more than 30 degrees. The distance of the first row should be about 4.5 meters for movies and 3.6 meters for theaters. In case of movie, sound with lip movement is most essential, and in case of drama, the person with normal vision should be able to see the facial expression of the performer. To satisfy all these conditions, it is recommended that the distance of the party from the certain line should not be more than 20 meters. Where balcony is provided, projection into the hall should not be more than the twice of tree height. Opening of balcony. If balconies are too deep, sound shadow from the person in the seat below the balcony do not receive ceiling reflection, so the suitable sound reflector should be given to get rid out of this defect. Now for further information, I would like to invite Ms. Pragati Jain.
Thank you, Priya. Hello, everyone. So here I am explaining you about the acoustic treatment of interior surface. The interior surface of the hall should be given almost attention to make the hall acoustically satisfactory. If the side walls are parallel, they are to be covered with absorbing material from the length of about 7.5 meters from the proscenium end. As the reflection from the near wall are of no use, the rear wall should be covered with absorbent. If the large hall, a false ceiling is usually provided The false ceiling position near the proscenium should be constructed of reflective material and inclined in a proper way to help reflection of sound from the stage to reach the rear seats in the hall. Concave shaped ceiling in the form of dome should be avoided and the floor should be covered with a carpet. Thank you. Thank you for listening and watching. I hope this PPT will help you in this topic.
Okay, so ऑडियंस में से किसी को कोई क्वेश्चन करनी है? ऐसा सिंपल से ये था। मैं मोस्टली जो लेक्चर है वो इन्फॉर्मेटिव है, इन्फॉर्मेशन दिया गया है। इसमें लॉजिकल जो चीजें हैं उस लॉजिक्स में जो तुम लोग साउंड वगैरह चैप्टर में 11th क्लास में पढ़े होंगे, जिसमें रिफ्लेक्शन वगैरह के तुम्हारा इको वगैरह के बारे में बात की जाती है कि जो डिस्टेंस के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है। तो यहाँ पर जो हॉल का जो साइज है और हॉल का जो अरेंजमेंट है, ये सारे के सारे बड़े इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं और इसको डिफरेंट कंडीशंस के फॉर्म में इसमें एक्सप्लेन किया गया है। सो एक डिस्कशन क्लास की बात कही गई है। सो ऑन मंडे 2:30 बजे से लेकर के 4 बजे तक हम इस पर और थोड़ा सा डिटेल चर्चा करेंगे। हमारे पास 1.5 घंटा टाइम रहेगा। ओके, सो नेक्स्ट जिनका लेक्चर है वो हो जाए।